effort, sincerity, self-control.
I will not quit, therefore you will succeed.
Principles that move through the study of martial arts.
Everyone who walks in here has something to overcome. And I present our art to them in a way that can find a way into that gap that they have, that question that they have, or that, lack of confidence in somewhere in their life.
It is a technique that William Ambrosia, owner of Serio Ambrosia Martial Arts in Rhode Island, doesn't just teach. It is a lesson he has lived.
When I was born, the doctor said to my mother that I would be severely uncoordinated, overweight, and not make to 30 years old.
A severe vascular disorder would restrict his physical development until motivation fueled by love trumped that.
My mother was dating a man who was teaching karate. His name was Nick Serio. But I was used to being her little man, and so I said, I have to do this too. And so I needed to go so I could protect her. Who's this guy?
He says despite the bruises, he stuck with it.
Apparently I must have been born with a I will not quit attitude. And I just thought it was normal. You fall, you get up.
And that changed the course of his life. And would in turn do the same for his students.
I think I like about this class is that it just makes me feel like I'm in a safe area. And also it makes me feel like I'm learning.
13-year-old Riker Palumbo is mentally adept. He can recite everything he has learned here in the last 6 months.
Blocking form number 1 and 2, the palm heel, the hand strikes, the kicks, some of the bow exercises, the Okinawan 25-point blocking system.
His favorite,
the cross-cover side kick,
is in many ways prophetic to the things he has struggled with in life.
The fact that if something's too far, you can still reach it and go back to where you were.
He was diagnosed with autism pretty young. He didn't let that define him. But we had some difficulty with some schooling and behavioral.
He has had a lot of social challenges. For him to be able to come into an environment like this and feel safe to be himself and to try new things with Soke Bill, it's great.
Three, you brought it over to your side as if you were blocking here or here to the side.
Ambrosia has slowly developed a level of trust that allows Riker to thrive.
Kempo is designed to fit the student, not the student into it. So it's not this predetermined box that you have to get into.
A technique that brings forward a pathway for Riker to break down his own barriers.
Right through the boy, through it. Atta boy.
I've seen him getting stronger, he's confident, his balance has improved. It's just been an amazing journey over the last 6 months.
The first couple times I was crying, just so proud of him that he was willing to try and that he remembers things so well, and also very, very thankful for Soke Bill because he has a very special skill and not everyone is able to connect to Riker the way he has.
Fantastic, high five.
Riker is in private classes, but Ambrosia does offer group classes for students as well. As for Bill Ambrosia himself, at the height of his competitive martial art years, he was involved in a serious accident, breaking several bones throughout his body. It was seen by some as a career-ending injury. He fought back from that, though, from that challenge as well. Still ahead, books behind bars.